there, Car Hacks Express viewers! Today, we're diving into one of the simplest yet most essential skills every driver should have: how to check and replace car fuses like a pro. I'm Henry, and by the end of this guide, you'll be equipped to tackle one of the most common electrical issues you'll face with your vehicle. Imagine this: your power windows suddenly stop working, your radio goes silent, or your taillights mysteriously fail. In many cases, the culprit isn't a major electrical fault, it's just a blown fuse. The best part? Fixing it yourself can save you up to $100 in diagnostic fees and takes less than 5 minutes once you know how. So, let's get started. Before we reach into the fuse box, it's important to understand what fuses actually do. Think of fuses as the silent guardians of your car's electrical system. Every circuit in your car, from your headlights to your power seats, relies on fuses for protection. When too much current flows through a circuit, perhaps due to a short or an overload, the fuse is designed to blow, breaking the connection instantly. This sacrificial act prevents more expensive and complicated damage to your car's components and wiring. Instead of frying the entire system, the humble fuse takes the hit, saving you from a much bigger headache. Modern cars use several types of fuses. The most common are blade fuses, which you'll find in almost every vehicle manufactured in the last few decades. Older vehicles might use glass tube fuses, which look like tiny glass cylinders with metal caps on each end. For higher current applications, things like the main power supply or major relays, you might encounter maxi fuses or cartridge fuses, which are larger and built to handle more juice. Blade fuses are especially easy to work with because they're color-coded by amperage rating. Here's a quick guide. A tan fuse is 5 amps, red is 10 amps, blue is 15 amps, yellow is 20 amps, clear or white is 25 amps, and green is 30 amps. This color coding makes it easy to identify and match the right fuse for the job. And here's a crucial point: the amperage rating must always match when replacing a fuse. Never go higher or lower. Using a fuse with the wrong rating can cause serious damage or even start a fire. I'll explain why in more detail a little later. Now let's talk about where to find your car's fuses. Most vehicles have at least 2 fuse boxes. There's usually an interior fuse box, often located under the dashboard on the driver's side. Sometimes it's behind a small access door labeled fuses, or it might be tucked inside the glove compartment or behind a side panel. Then there's the engine compartment fuse box, typically found near the battery or along one side of the engine bay. Look for a black plastic box with a snap-on lid. Often, it'll have fuses written right on top. If you're not sure where to look, your owner's manual is your best friend. It will have the exact locations for your specific vehicle model, along with a diagram showing which fuse controls which component. This diagram is incredibly helpful when you're troubleshooting electrical issues. Next, let's gather the right tools for the job. You don't need anything fancy, just a few basics. First, a fuse puller, which is often included inside the fuse box cover. If you don't have one, a pair of small needle-nose pliers will do the trick. You'll also want a flashlight or your phone's light to help you see inside the sometimes cramped and shadowy fuse box. Of course, you'll need replacement fuses of various sizes. It's a good idea to buy an assorted fuse kit for around $10 to $15. This is much more economical than buying individual fuses and ensures you'll have what you need when problems pop up. For more advanced testing, a multimeter can be handy, but it's not essential for basic fuse checks. And, as always, keep your owner's manual close by. Now, let's get hands-on and check those fuses. We'll use a methodical approach to make sure you're working safely and efficiently. Step 1. Identify the problem component. What exactly stopped working? Is it your radio, your power windows, or maybe your cigarette lighter? Once you know what's not working, check the fuse diagram in your manual or on the fuse box cover to locate the right fuse. This saves you from pulling out every fuse in the box. Step 2. Safely access the fuse box. For interior fuses, make sure your ignition is in the off position. For engine bay fuses, turn off the engine and remove the key. This prevents accidental shorts and keeps you safe. Step 3. Remove and inspect the fuse. Use the fuse puller or your pliers to grasp the fuse from the sides, not the top or bottom, and pull it straight out with even pressure. Hold the fuse up to a light and examine it closely. A good fuse will have an intact metal strip inside. If the strip is broken, or if you see visible burning or melting, the fuse is blown. Sometimes you might see discoloration or slight deformation, which can also indicate a problem. If you're not sure whether a fuse is blown, you can use a multimeter in continuity mode to test it. Touch the probes to each end of the fuse. If the multimeter beeps or shows continuity, the fuse is good. If not, it's time for a replacement. But what if you don't have a multimeter? Here's a quick hack using your car key. Remove the questionable fuse and touch your car key to both metal contacts on one end of the fuse. Then, touch the other metal contacts with the other end of the key. If the circuit is complete, you'll get a tiny spark, meaning the fuse is good. But be careful, only do this with low amperage fuses, under 15 amps, to avoid any risk. Once you've identified a blown fuse, replacing it is straightforward, but there are a few critical rules to follow. First, get the exact replacement. Match the amperage rating precisely using the same color and type of fuse, whether it's mini, standard, or maxi. Using the wrong fuse can cause more harm than good. Insert the new fuse by aligning it with the empty slot and pressing it in firmly but gently until it's fully seated and straight. Now, test the component that wasn't working. Turn on the ignition, but don't start the engine. Check if the previously non-working component now functions. If it works, congratulations, you've fixed the issue. If not, there may be a deeper problem that needs further investigation. Here's a crucial warning. If a new fuse blows immediately after replacement, stop right there. This indicates a more serious electrical problem that needs professional diagnosis. Repeatedly replacing blown fuses can lead to electrical fires or significant damage to your vehicle. Let's talk about some common mistakes people make with car fuses and share a few pro tips to help you avoid trouble. Mistake number 1. Using the wrong amperage. Never use a higher amperage fuse than specified. This can cause wire damage, electrical fires, or complete component failure. Using a lower amperage fuse will result in repeated blown fuses, which doesn't solve the problem and can leave you stranded. Mistake number 2. Not addressing the root cause. Remember, a blown fuse is often a symptom, not the problem itself. If fuses keep blowing, don't just keep replacing them. Have the circuit professionally checked to find out what's causing the overload. Mistake number 3. Substituting with makeshift materials. Never use aluminum foil, wire, or other conductors in place of a fuse. This bypasses the critical safety protection that fuses provide and can lead to catastrophic damage, or even a fire. Here are a few pro tips to make your life easier. Keep a small assortment of spare fuses in your glove box for emergencies. Take a photo of your fuse layout when everything is working properly. This makes future troubleshooting much easier. If you need to remove multiple fuses, use your phone to snap a picture of each location so you don't lose track. For those who like to be extra prepared, consider purchasing a Fuse Buddy, a device that maintains your vehicle's memory settings while you change fuses. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. Fuses are essential for protecting your vehicle's electrical components from damage. Most vehicles have at least 2 fuse boxes, and your owner's manual is the key to finding and understanding them. Always match the exact amperage when replacing a fuse, and never take shortcuts with makeshift materials. If a fuse keeps blowing, it's a sign of a deeper issue. Don't ignore it. By mastering this simple skill, you can save time, money, and avoid the frustration of waiting for roadside assistance or a mechanic appointment for something as small as a fuse. If you found this guide helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Car Hacks Express for more money-saving car tips. Drop a comment if you have questions or share your own fuse-related experiences. We love hearing from our community. Next week, I'll show you how to diagnose and fix common power window problems without expensive repairs. Until then, this is Henry from Car Hacks Express, reminding you to fix fast, save big, and drive smart. Stay safe out there, and happy wrenching!